There's an interesting connection between agriculture and learning German. And I found out about that in chemistry class in high school. So it's a bit weird, but let me connect the dots here. There is a German chemist, Justus von Liebig. He studied plant growth in the 19th century, and he found out one interesting thing. He realized that while a plant needs many, many different things to grow, like, I don't know, sunlight and water and fertilizer and warmth and so on, at any given point when a plant stops growing, it can usually be boiled down to just one thing that is lacking, and not several things. So in other words, you have a tomato plant in your garden and it stops growing because you put it in the shadow. Then it doesn't help if you put more water and you put more fertilizer or anything else. You just need to give it more sunlight. How you're going to do that, that's another question, but that is what would solve the issue and not the other factors. It's a little bit like with this barrel, where which is completely broken and the water comes out at the lowest point. It doesn't help if you fix the barrel at any other point than the lowest point where the water comes out. So what does that have to do with language learning? Well, I believe when people learn German or also other languages, then it's a little bit similar. Language learning is always overwhelming. We have grammar, a nightmare in German, I know. We have pronunciation, it's difficult. People don't know how to say ü and ü and all of these things. Vocabulary, listening comprehension, German dialects. Many different things, but usually when you ask yourself in a very honest way, what is the one thing that is holding me back from making progress in German right now, then you can often boil it down to one thing, or at least one principal thing, one main thing. Why do I say ask yourself in an honest way? Well, many times when I ask students these things, they say something that seems a bit logical, but if you dig a little deeper, then it's not. And let me explain. Many people tell me, for example, that grammar is holding them back. Yeah, grammar is so difficult in German, dative, accusative. But really, is that the issue? Is that why you're not making progress? Or is it more that you have fears of making mistakes? Or maybe your pronunciation is still so basic that people might misunderstand you, and you should actually be working more on your pronunciation, but you say, grammar, just because it's usual. People always complain about German grammar. It's very difficult, right? It's overrated. Let me explain in detail in my survival guide to basic German grammar. You can download it. There's a link in the description below. It's free if you're interested in this. Some people tell me time. Yeah, I don't have time to learn German. Not so sure. Maybe you're just not finding the time. Maybe you're just not making the time. Maybe you're lacking motivation. Maybe you don't really want to learn it. That's a different thing. That needs a different approach to fix that. Some people say listening comprehension. Oh, I don't understand Germans when they talk to me. I need to listen more to German. Maybe, but maybe it could also be that you're just afraid of that awkward situation when you don't understand something and then you have to ask, and then people might switch to English and get impatient with you, and that's an unpleasant feeling, right? So maybe it's this that is actually holding you back. Or talent. Some people tell me, I don't have talent for German. It's too difficult. I couldn't learn Spanish. Why would I be able to learn German? No, it's too complicated. Okay, and then I ask sometimes, so what did you do to learn German? And they tell me, well, a bit of Duolingo here and there, but after 2 months, not much progress. Well, maybe you haven't put in the time that is necessary to learn German. Or the motivation. People say, I just don't really want to learn it. But then I dig a little deeper, and the problem is that the material is just too boring. Their course is too annoying, and they don't want to learn it from that course. So maybe you should really take a little bit of time to dig a bit deeper into what is holding you back, what is your minimum factor if you think of this tomato plant, and what might be the one thing that you might want to fix in order to make progress in German. Let me know in the comments what you think is your minimum factor.